Sabine. Dallas told me your divine welcomes you.
The divine you thought dead lords over the chamber from a grand...
What a twist.
Lucian frown.
I underestimate.
Respect?
Lucian's gaze rests upon you and goes through you. He takes your
Lucian.
Yes, I am.
Dallas nods, then reaches for the sun. A skull is revealed.
I am eternal.
Aren't they just full of surprises?
Fear not, Godwalker.
I shall tell you long ago.
Of course.
Silent, our king for...
With the source they stole from the Vale.
During the...
The
7...
The 7, when we are done, there shall be no more source in...
My people cannot...
There is...
I was a It was hell. The cruel... My father. But now...
The hammer's voice.
He never...
Dallas, control you.
Yes.
Dallas's reasons weren't mine to question. All that ever mattered to me was peace. Peace for Riverlong. Peace for...
She sacrificed. She didn't do it willingly, mind you. And then I took her place. Face rippers are such marvels, aren't they? It didn't take long to realize that Lucian was the key to my vengeance, and I was the key to the salvation of Riverlon.
While Dallas saw...
Slurp, slurp, slurp.
One more word.
I had to hide. As divine, I was created.
Maggot.
With a flick of her wrist.
Don't worry.
Dallas punctuates her statement with another.
Yes, it is. To strengthen
The void, you see.
the Eterran.
The void, a false divine.
The plan is...
We have made so...
Decide.
There is no other. We only lack yours.
As I say, one last sacrifice is required. We already have...
Another sacrifice I was forced to make. Alexander.
The task for...
And me.
Good.
The world shall not know this. I shall...
Then let us show some...
You'll be a hero. Everyone will know of the sacrifice you'll make. Your name will be synonymous with the survival of... I understand. Your sacrifice.
I'm sorry. You've come such...
Lucian struggles to rise, but the weight of his own pain leads...
My time is done. But you...
Dallas grows. After all that you have been through, and all that you have all to sack, what you do next, what shall you do with divinity?
And so it ended. A tale that began with my own ill-fated attempt to rid the world of the Godwoken. Dallas the Hammer, the secret eternal, purged the Godwoken and used the Source to close the veil to the void. The world was saved. Statues in memory of the Godwoken who sacrificed their Source were erected all across Rivellon. They would never be forgotten. The half-demon Malady took pity on the soulless Godwoken silent monks and brought them to the Hall of Echoes. There, from the scraps of their souls that remained, she restored them to life. Sorcerers no more, they lived out the rest of their lives, freed of the burden of being the Godwoken. Freed from the weight of the world. As for me, I was already free. And so were the others. The Godwoken sacrifice severed the bond between the Sworn and the God King. To atone for my sins, I spent the rest of my days taking care of the sick and elderly, telling the story of the Godwoken, that the world may never forget the greatest heroes Rivellon had ever known.
Malady stands tall and...
Ah, there you are. More than a silent mon. Where did I go wrong? How is unfortunate still. I'd expected quite a bit more from you. I was interested in being owed a favor by a shiny... Never mind. I'll find another way. I always do.
She fingers the mask, covering her face.
We've come a long way together.
And if she looks you...
I guess this will take a moment. Relax, enjoy. I certainly plan to do the same. The same way I do everything. Oh, I don't know. Perhaps I'll... until we find...
Well, well, look what the cat dragged in. A silent monk. To be fair, you are barely more powerful than one.
The flaming hatchling... It takes you a moment to realize the egg you've been carrying has hatched at long last. The chick trills contentedly and flaps its tiny feathers in recognition of its proud parent. It seems you've got a new mouth to feed.
No more source, no more power. Reform my ways. I would...
Her eyes flick down to your mouth. She smiles. Her mouth meets yours and devours you with predatory abandon. Somewhere in the recesses of your mind, you think you hear her voice sigh, mine. But then the kiss ends.
Something to remember me by. Who knows? But a girl needs... I hope you won't be a stranger, my dear.
Are you okay?
Losa looks at you intently. Losa sinks. Beast spirit doesn't...
Hear the wild, the cupboard can't...
He pauses.
I always thought that those who resorted to self-sacrifice were lacking in imagination. But I must admit, that was rather noble of you. A world without... I believe I shall enjoy this new world. That is... No, of course you wouldn't. I intend to seek them out. This Gustafjan seems to guard portals to their realm.
The squirrel smiles. The purging that once silenced you remains on your mind.
Amazing, I'm still... I find a way to fit, and so I find out.
I suppose it's time for me to... I suppose it's...
much pleasure to speak to you as it does to be whole again. She is full of surprises. I feel better. I will always be an ally to those. I am at the ready.
You look out to the endless beyond. The sun's light plays upon the waves, just as it always did. The sails flutter in the wind, just as they always will. And yet, something is different. You are different. And with a start, you realize where you must go next. At last, the world was at peace. The ancient Lizard Empire opened its gates. The houses disbanded, and the Empire adopted a pluralist quasi-democracy. Anyone could vote for whoever they pleased, as long as the House of Shadows approved. Justinia returned to her throne. Under her rule, the Dwarven kingdom prospered, until 2 years later, a jealous lover stabbed her in the heart with a mutton fork. Lucian made amends to the elves. He gave them lands and vast riches from the coffers of the old divine order. But the elves never forgave him. They would not trust humans again. And in a dark forest on the far side of a desert, well beyond the high seas, the Black Ring came together once more. The island of Fort Joy, the old redoubt of the Source King Brachus Rex, was turned over to the people of Driftwood to use as they wished. They turned it into a holiday resort. Reaper's Coast prospered. The fisheries returned, and the fertile farmlands produced the greatest harvests the surviving farmers had ever seen. Blood Moon Island became particularly fecund, its soil producing the greatest crops. A particularly crimson-fleshed orange grown on the island became a delicacy across half the world. The black pits took fire. The oil there burns still. Driftwood became a centre of industry, trade, and transport. Lohar became mayor, and Brayton Barnes grew rich, until, after a public argument over import duties, Barnes died in an accident, buried under several tons of fish, and also stabbed in the back with a gutting knife. Your lizard lover finally returned to the ancient Lizard Empire, there to found the newest and most popular of all the houses, the House of Love. Lagan left his over-demanding wife and began a relationship with a local bard. In the spirit of loving generosity, he returned the ring to his now ex-wife. In a fit of rage, she threw it into the sea. You would never forget Dorothea's kiss. Dorothea herself left Driftwood for the ancient empire, ever in search of the perfect kiss. She never found it, although once or twice she came close. The nameless isle had vanished. Although only open water remained, by instinct ships would steer clear. None of the captains could articulate why. Sir Gareth thanked the surviving Seekers for their service and gave them their freedom. Disillusioned with peace, he set out alone to find a new purpose. He would never stop seeking. Young Han went into the theatre and became one of the realm's most popular actors. Almira and Mihaly settled down on the farm. The locals liked and respected Almira. She never wanted for help, and deals always fell to her favor. She presumed she had them in thrall. The truth was, they just liked her. With no new divine, Malady found herself in a predicament. She had an important problem to solve, but no ally strong enough to call upon, and so her search continued. Having performed the greatest act of necromancy in history, Tarquin found the new world unchallenging. He became obsessed with rumors of another plane of existence. One day he vanished and was never seen again. Ahu the wizard became one of Lucian's most trusted advisors once more. He always knew that something had changed in the divine. He never discovered what that was, or, if he did, he never said a word. With Amadia silent, the priestess Gratiana left the swamps and re-entered the world. She founded an abbey in the Dragonspine Mountains, offering the last of the undead shelter from fortune hunters, novelty seekers, and ghouls. Jehan the demon hunter found himself at a loose end, so he opened a museum of demonic artifacts. He made a fortune. Lucian returned as divine, united the races, and became Lord Emperor of all Rivellon. Only Dallis knew that he was entirely powerless. Dallis and you. The Eternal, now known as Dallis, was a secret advisor to Lucian and to his successors. For eons she would walk in the world, and would outlive the peoples and all, and wander alone amongst the dying stars. And then there was you. You returned to the world as one more elf among many. Your future was yours to decide. Did you accept your new status with humility, or did you rebel? Only you know the truth. Only you know if you atone for your sins.
is long. Sing for me, I'll sing along. Sing for me, oh sing for me. Come to me.